Over on my second channel, Bad Company Gaming, I've just started my Perception Perks only challenge run of Fallout 4 Survival Mode. To celebrate this, and to also hopefully convince a few of you to go on over and subscribe to the second channel, I've decided to rank all 10 Perception Perks from worst to best. Let's get started. Coming in at 10th place as the very worst of the Perception Perks is Pickpocket. Picking pockets in the world of Fallout 4 is one of the most high-risk, low-reward activities you can perform. Realistically, you're only going to be able to pick pockets in cities and settlements, which limits your hunting grounds to just a handful of locations. This already makes the perk incredibly situational, but then if you take a look at the items you can get your hands on, then things just get worse. Nobody in the Commonwealth is carrying anything of real value on them. You're much better off picking up a rank of Cap Collector, Fortune Finder or Scrounger than you are ever putting the points into becoming a better pickpocket. Even if you sink 4 points into this perk, then you will still end up with a 1 in 10 chance of getting caught with every single item that you steal, and the penalty for theft in the post-apocalypse is a swift death from anyone and everyone in the immediate vicinity. I made a video not that long ago making a whole pickpocket minigame for both Fallout and Elder Scrolls, so if you want to see how much pickpocket could be improved, go take a look at that video. On to the 9th place ranking now, Night Person. Weirdly, this was one of the first perks I picked up in my Perception survival run, because the first rank grants you 2 extra points of both Intelligence and Perception between 6 PM and 6 AM. This extra boost to XP earned and VATS accuracy throughout the night is good to have, and the fact it doesn't suffer from Solar Powered's Outside Only edition is the best part of all. With me singing this perk's praises, you may be wondering why I've also marked it as the second to worst perk in this tree. And the reason for that is the second rank. This ups the Intelligence and Perception boost to +3, but also adds a night vision effect while sneaking. A night vision effect which looks like this. So if you were looking to either never sneak again or roleplay as a half-blind wastelander, then great! But otherwise, the second rank of this perk just absolutely ruins it. The first rank is fine, but the second rank is terrible, which means the third rank isn't one you're going to pick up anyway. For anyone curious though, it gives you an extra 30 hit points, but only at night, which really isn't much of a benefit at all. Time for our 8th place perk now, Refractor. If you have 7 points in Perception, then you can spend your valuable perk points on marginally increasing your energy resistance. Refractor has 5 ranks, and each of them gives you an extra 10 energy resistance. The reason this kinda sucks is because it doesn't scale. At the very start of a game, an extra 10 points of energy resistance can be quite a difference, but once you start getting up in levels, 10 or even 50 energy resistance really isn't much at all. The second you set foot in a suit of power armour, your resistances will all be in the hundreds, without any upgrades of any kind. Hell, even at the very start of the game, you can put together a full set of leather armour, which will give you 26 points of energy resistance, more than 2 ranks of Refractor could hope to give you. And if you upgrade to sturdy leather, then you end up with 71 points of energy resistance, which is significantly more than all 5 ranks of this perk could ever grant. Let's move on to the 7th place perk now, Penetrator. Penetrator should be an amazing perk, and in theory, it is. The first rank allows you to shoot at enemies and VATS even when they're behind cover, just with a decreased chance to hit. The second rank then removes that decrease in accuracy, meaning you can freely shoot at enemies who are behind cover. That's what the perk says anyway. Once you start actually using this effect, you'll soon realise it doesn't actually work quite as well as it sounds. You can target enemy limbs which are behind cover, but only if you can see the enemy already. This means anyone behind full cover isn't targetable at all. On top of that, different cover materials will decrease the damage of your weapon by different amounts. Try and shoot through a basic wooden board and you won't have too much trouble, but try and shoot through thick concrete and no damage will make it through at all. The overall effectiveness of this perk also depends heavily on the type of weapon you're using. Plasma guns don't work with this perk, and if you have an explosive or instigating weapon, then the extra effect is also lost when shooting through cover. In general, there's just a lot of caveats which come alongside the perk, which is why I'm ranking it lower than many of you might expect. But it does still come with some bonuses. If you're facing down robots or power armor users, then this perk is a great way to shoot through to the combat inhibitor or fusion core. On top of that, if you manage to line up multiple enemies, then you can target the one behind and shoot through the first to reach the second, potentially getting 2 kills for the price of 1. In the right situation, this perk is great, but in so many situations, the perk is hamstrung and just not worth having. Honestly, if this perk worked outside of that, then I think it would be top 3 contender, but as it stands, 7th place is where it's landed. Enough of that perk though, it's time to talk about my 6th place perk, Awareness. The first rank allows you to see a target's level and resistances inside of bats. The second rank then adds an extra 5% chance to hit and damage dealt inside of bats. Possibly the best part of all this is how easy this perk is to get maxed out. Not only is it just 2 ranks, meaning minimal perk cost investment, but it only requires 3 points of perception, and the second rank is unlocked at level 14. Sounds pretty good overall, and would be great if Fallout 4 cared that much about damage types. Most enemies have pretty similar damage and energy resistances, meaning there's little reason to switch damage types for specific enemies. And if you want to actually make use of multiple damage types, then you need to have both energy and ballistic weapons to choose from, and remember to switch in the heat of combat. If you're a particularly tactical player, then you can definitely make use of the first rank, and if you're a big VATS user, then the second rank has definite benefits. Onto the midway perk now, coming in at 5th place is a Locksmith. The first 3 ranks of this perk let you pick Advanced, Expert, and then Master Locks, and the final rank of the perk makes it so your bobby pins never break. Considering just how many bobby pins there are in the game, especially relative to how many locks you will find, I've never found this last rank all that worthwhile, but I do at least appreciate the inclusion of it. As for the other 3 ranks, they will allow you to unlock locks beyond Novice, which essentially means you just get more loot as you're out wandering the wastes. On occasion, it can even open up new routes or shortcuts through locations, but sadly there just aren't enough of these opportunities for me to put this perk any higher up on the list. I love breaking locks to look inside of safes or sneak through and get the drop onto an enemy, but in Fallout 4 I just think there's not quite enough of these opportunities, and most of them don't lead to anything special. The one sole instance I can think of where you have to have invested in lockpicking to get a unique item is Grognak's Axe. This is locked away in Hubris Comics, and you need to have sunk a point into this perk to grab it. That or bring along Kate or a lockpicking robot. The best thing I can give credit to this perk for is having a fairly low level requirement for the important ranks. By level 18 you can get the first 3 ranks and pick every lock in the Commonwealth, and I really do appreciate it when I don't have to reach the end game before I can get to the good ranks of the perk. Time for the 4th place perk, Sniper. This is all about improving sniper rifles. The first rank makes it so that you have better aim with scopes and can hold your breath for longer, giving more time to line up headshots. The second rank gives you a chance to knock down enemies with non-automatic scope rifles, and the final rank also makes these weapons gain a 25% boost to accuracy for headshots in VATS. Much like with our last perk, these can be picked up fairly early on, with rank 2 unlocking at level 13 and rank 3 at level 26. All in all, this is just a great perk for making the most out of being a sniper, though there are once again a few downsides to consider. First off is that you need 8 points of perception for this perk, which sounds good for characters who want to be hyper accurate, like a sniper is, but that doesn't work well at long or even mid-range, so all those points in perception aren't going to be useful most of the time. The other big limiting factor is that rank 2 and 3 only affect non-automatic scoped rifles. If it was just weapons with a scope, then this perk would be amazing, as you could slap a scope on an automatic combat shotgun and then make it a weapon which knocks down enemies as it blasts them to pieces. You also don't get the headshot bonus for scoped pistols, which would be great for some of the powerful .44 revolvers you can get your hands on. As it stands though, it only works on the most basic of snipers, which severely limits your overall options. Still, if you want to try playing as a conventional sniper build, then this perk can serve you in good stead. I'm also now realising that there's only a few perks in the perception tree that I actually can wholeheartedly recommend, so let's move on to them now. 3rd place in my ranking of perception perks is Concentrated Fire. This is the 10-point perception perk that gains you additional accuracy for each attack on the same body part in VATS. The first rank gives you an extra 10% accuracy per shot, the second rank pushes this up to 15%, and the third and final rank puts it up to 20% extra accuracy, but also adds an extra 20% damage to boot. This last rank is incredible, and can really complete a build. Unfortunately, you also need to be level 50 to get this perk, which is as high as perk levels go. Still, the first rank can be picked up at any level and significantly improves hit chance in VATS, especially for pistol-based builds who can stack several attacks together in a single AP bar. There's not really much more to say about this one. It's a fairly simple perk to start, becomes really strong once you basically finish your playthrough, but still is a decent choice for a fair few builds. Time for the 2nd place perk now, Rifleman. Each of the 5 ranks of this perk increase non-automatic rifle damage by 20%. On top of that, each rank after the first also adds some armor penetration, and the final 2 ranks add a chance to cripple. This is probably my most picked perk inside of Fallout 4, because rifles are just so damn good. Great range, great damage, just great overall. They're the best weapon type in the game as far as I'm concerned, and are always what I gravitate towards. With this perk you can get yourself a shotgun for close range, a combat rifle for mid-range, and a sniper for long range. You get everything covered and can have an easy time taking on the Wasteland. All in all, it's just a brilliant damage perk, but there is one more that just manages to edge out the top space. Coming in at number 1, the very best perception perk is Demolition Expert. This perk, unlocked at Perception 5, has 4 ranks, each of which improve explosive damage by 25%. On top of this, the first rank unlocks crafting recipes for a bunch of different throwables. The second rank gives you the handy dandy throwing arc you've been seeing, the third rank makes the explosion radius significantly larger, and the final rank allows you to shoot mines and grenades in vats, making them explode for twice the normal damage they deal. This is the highest per rank damage increase of any of the perks in Fallout 4, which immediately makes it super valuable. Add in on top of that every rank adds a unique secondary effect, and this quickly becomes the prime example of what damage perks should be. But the reason that it cinches the top spot for certain is that everyone can make good use of this perk. Doesn't matter if you're a sniper, a melee build, or a heavy gunner. Every single build archetype will still use grenades throughout the playthrough. Plus, a bunch of primary weapons are also explosive. Got a missile launcher or an explosive legendary effect on your gun? Well, this perk boosts the damage of those too. Just hands down the best damage perk there is in the game, and definitely the top spot for the perception perks. If you want to see how I got on with just using perception perks and survival mode difficulty, then go check out my second entry in the special survival challenge run over on my second channel. I'll leave a link to it in the end card. Give this video a like if you enjoyed hearing my rankings, feel free to subscribe to both channels, and as always, thanks for watching. Sarge out.